Welcome to my channel. My name is Daniel. I am 21 years old. I live in a small town. I have a simple life. My family is kind. My father works every day. My mother takes care of our home. I have one younger sister. She is a good student. She always studies hard. I wanted to be like her, but I had one problem. I could not speak English well. I studied English in school. I learned many grammar rules. I remembered many words. I passed my exams, but I could not speak. When someone asked me a simple question, became nervous. My mind became empty. I forgot easy words. I looked down. I smiled, but I said nothing. I felt sad after every conversation. One day, I watched a short video in English. I understood only a few words. I wanted to stop watching. It felt difficult. Then I thought about something. Every person starts as a beginner. No one speaks perfect English on the first day. That idea gave me hope. I decided not to quit. The next morning, I made a small plan. I did not make a big promise. I did not buy expensive books. I did not join a costly class. I only gave myself 20 minutes every day. 20 minutes felt easy. I knew I could do it. I started with very short stories. The stories were simple, the words were easy. I listened carefully. I did not rush. I listened one time. Then I listened again. After that, I read the same story. I noticed many new words. I wrote them in a small notebook. I did not write long meanings. I wrote simple meanings. I also wrote one easy sentence for every new word. At first, I made many mistakes. My pronunciation was not good. My voice sounded strange. Sometimes I laughed at myself. Sometimes I wanted to stop. But I remembered my plan. My goal was not to be perfect. My goal was to become a little better every day. Every evening, I read the story aloud. I spoke slowly. I listened to my own voice. At first, I did not like it. It sounded weak. But after a few days, I noticed a small change. My words became clearer. My reading became smoother. I felt more comfortable. 1 week later, I learned something important. I did not need to know every word. I only needed to understand the main idea. This changed everything. I stopped worrying about difficult words. I focused on the story. I enjoyed the lesson. Learning became fun. Then I started using English in my daily life. I spoke to myself. I named the things in my room. I made short sentences. I talked while I walked. I described the weather. I described my breakfast. I described my plans. No one listened to me. That made me feel free. I was not afraid of making mistakes. Slowly, my confidence grew. I was still a beginner, but I was no longer afraid. Every small success made me stronger. Every new sentence gave me more courage. I finally believed that I could improve. One evening, something happened that changed my life. A stranger spoke to me in English. My heart started beating fast. I wanted to answer, but I did not know what would happen next. The man smiled at me. He looked friendly. He asked, "Excuse me, can you help me?" I felt nervous. My hands became cold. My heart was beating fast. For a few seconds, I said nothing. Then I remembered my practice. I took a slow breath. I looked at him. I answered with simple words. My voice was quiet, but it was clear. The man asked me where the bus station was. I knew the place. I listened carefully. I understood his question. I did not use difficult grammar. I did not search for perfect words. I simply said, "Go straight. Turn left at the traffic light. The station is next to the bank." He smiled. He thanked me. He said, "Your English is good." Those 4 words stayed in my mind all day. I walked home with a big smile. I felt different. I was not a perfect speaker. I still made mistakes. But I had a real conversation. I understood another person. He understood me. That was enough. It gave me hope. It showed me that simple English could open new doors. The next day, I did not change my routine. I still listened to short stories. I still read them aloud. I still learned new words. I still spoke to myself every day. I knew that success came from small steps. One day of practice was helpful. Many days of practice changed my life. I also stopped comparing myself with other learners. Some people spoke faster than me. Some people knew more words. Some people had better pronunciation. Before, this made me feel weak. Now, I looked only at my own progress. Yesterday, I knew less. Today, I knew more. That was enough for me. One afternoon, I found an easy English podcast. The speaker talked slowly. The lessons were clear. Hank? At first, I understood only part of each episode. I did not become upset. I listened again. Every second time was easier. Every third time was even better. Little by little, my ears became stronger. English sounds became more familiar. I learned another important lesson. I did not need to translate every sentence into my own language. Translation made me slow. It also made speaking difficult. I started thinking in simple English. I looked at a cup and said, "This is my cup." I looked at the sky and said, "The sky is blue today." I looked at a tree and said, "The tree is very tall." These short sentences trained my mind. They helped me think without translating. Sometimes I forgot a word. Before, I stopped speaking. Now, I use different words. If I forgot one word, I explained the idea another way. I stayed calm. I kept talking. I learned that communication was more important than perfect vocabulary. Every week, I noticed a small improvement. I understood more stories. I remembered more words. I spoke with less fear. My confidence grew because I practiced every day. I did not wait for the perfect time. I simply started with what I had. One evening, my sister noticed the change. She listened while I read an English story. After I finished, she smiled. She said, "You sound much better now." Her words made me happy. She had heard my English from the beginning. She knew how difficult the journey had been. Her encouragement gave me even more confidence. That night, I opened my notebook. I looked at the first page. The words that once seemed difficult now felt easy. I smiled because I knew this was only the beginning. I closed the notebook and made a promise to myself. The next challenge would be much bigger, and it would test everything I had learned.